Another day of testing the new Strixhaven set in Pioneer. I've got a pretty sweet take on Mono Red today. I want to see how it compares to the more traditional version of Mono Red. Of course, Lightning Bolt is now legal in Pioneer with the release of Emeritus of Conflict. Let's go ahead and play some Mono Red today. Let's run through the list real quick. We have Burst Lightning, nothing much to say here. We are running Crash Through, so the way we are planning to trigger our Emeritus of Conflict is through the combination of Crash Through and Light Up the Stage. Versions of Mono Red have been cutting Light Up the Stage. It's a little slow. They've just been opting for more aggressive options. Because we are trying to cast 3 spells in a turn, the combination of Light Up the Stage plus Crash Through gives us a little bit more of an ability to uh, go through our deck. Oh, sorry, let me fix little. Okay. All right, we are good to go. Now, rest of the deck is pretty standard for Mono Red. We have Etchings of Kumano, Swift Spear, Reckless Rage for removal, Soulscar Mage. We got the 4 Emeritus of Conflict. He is replacing the Mouse Ember Heart champion. So that's the big thing that we're testing today is this slightly less aggressive version of Mono Red able to cast lightning bolts consistently enough, or is casting 3 spells in a turn just too hard? That's the big question that we want to answer today. Screaming Nemesis. I was running some versions without Screaming Nemesis and was running Corey Steelcutter instead. Corey Steelcutter, one of the best cards in Pioneer, but Screaming Nemesis just gets you wins that you normally wouldn't get. And the combination of Screaming Nemesis plus Reckless Rage, I just found I was missing it too much. So Screaming Nemesis back in. And because we are on this more cheap spell, cast 3 spells in a turn version, we are running the Legend of Roku instead of the Lynx. So again, I've been really enjoying Legend of Roku in Mono Red. It lets you grind against some of the more grindy decks like Green Black and Rakdos a little bit better, because it's essentially a 4-for-1 if you consider the 3 cards you get and Avatar Roku. And also just one Legend of Roku finding you the next Legend of Roku usually happens. You can kind of chain together these sagas. Lands, nothing crazy here. Den of the Bugbear, bunch of mountains, Ramunap Ruins, 1 Sokenzan. 1 Sokenzan. Sideboard, again, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Just 3 red cap melees for the mirror, and is it? Some Abrades, some Magebane Lizards. This is one of the appeals of being mono red is this card just wins a lot of matchups by itself. Some Pyroclasms and Scorching Shots for, what is her name? Shieldred. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into some matches. See what's possible. Awesome. First game on the play. And this is potentially a turn 3 prepared Lightning Bolt. Start off with Kumamo faces Kakezan. So it looks like we are against Izzet. And we do have a turn 3 prepared Lightning Bolt if our Emeritus survives. I really like this synergy of put a 1/1 counter on our Emeritus. Now we have a 3/3 first striker. that can block this Swift Spear. Okay. Oh, that's even better. So we're just going to do the... Let's go Swift Spear, second Kumano, and a Burst Lightning on the Swift Spear. We will prepare a Lightning Bolt for next turn and get in for 8. Great first match of the day. The thing that's nice about having the Lightning Bolt prepared is this now counts as our first spell on follow-up turns. So we only need 2 spells from our deck. So we do have a Lightning Bolt prepared. Feels a little bit weird to not want to cast it, but we can't prepare another one. And we have the second chapter of Kumano now. So we are going to just make a 4/4 Screaming Nemesis. And this is a free attack. We can attack with the Etching of Kumano. We're fine with trading for a Prowess. We'll leave Swift Spear back. We don't want to just send her into nothing. Well, let's see. If we attack with Swift Spear, they let this through. They kill Swift Spear. Trade here. They go to 1. This is a... We'll leave it back. We don't need to overthink this attack. We're in a really good position. Kill one of the monks. Put them to 1. And they would have to have a crazy turn to win from here. Emberheart Challenger, another Swift Spear. We have the prepared Lightning Bolt, unless they have a removal for this Emeritus. They have a Boomerang Basics, and they're using that on the Swift Spear. All right, big attack from our opponent. Down to 6, but we will just Lightning Bolt their face. All right, good showing for Emeritus. So against this Izzet deck, I like Pyroclasm. It cleans up all of their otters from... Oh my gosh, I play that card all the time. But they cleans up all the otters from Storm Chasers. Bring in the Magebane Lizards. It's a good blocker and is good against their storm turns. As far as cuts go, Legend of Roku isn't great in this matchup. Reckless Rage is good. Swift Spear is good. Man, I think we're cutting Emeritus. As awkward as it sounds, there's some bad synergy here with the Magebane Lizard. So we'll go down Emeritus. Do we want a Braid? Bringing in an Abrade over... We have the Pyroclasms. Oh, so bringing in the Abrade over the Burst Lightning to have an answer to Corey Steelcutter is good. I like this. Let's bring in the Red Cat Melees over the Burst Lightnings. We're hoping Magebane Lizard puts in a lot of work. Here all right, this is great hand. Nothing from them. I always like to start off with Kumano. We can make Soulscar a 2/3 next turn. So they have the Cutter. We miss out on a 1/1 counter. But we are going to destroy the cutter. It's too easy for us to fall behind, especially on the draw against Corey. All right, they do have a good follow-up, 2 prowess creatures. Oh, that's okay, that's a great draw. We don't find 3rd land, but we will play Soul Scar. We're not going to try to high roll. We're just going to get this Emberheart off the field while we have the chance. And no attacks with the etchings. We have good late game. All right, looks like our Soul Scar Mage is not going to make it through this turn. Do they get a firebending lesson? Yep. So we'll firebending lesson our etchings of Kumano. And then play Storm Chasers again and attack for 5 and kill our Soulscar Mage and have 2 prowess creatures. Pyroclasm would be great. We don't hit the Pyroclasm. Let's Swift Spear. Attack, get our Spectacle. Hopefully we hit a land here. Okay, we do hit a land. Play the land, and let's leave up this Reckless Rage. This kills a VV, so with this revealed, they can't play VV this turn. If they try to kill our Swift Spear, we will cast this. And now we can play these Screaming Nemesises as Screaming Nemesi. Nemesises sounds wrong. Nemesi as blockers. And all right, we will take 2 here. It's hard for them to get through these. Okay, so they get back the firebending lesson. Oh, boomerang. All right, because we already have our plan for next turn, it's just too bad. So we did draw the land. That's a little bit of a bummer. We could have gone crazy with Screaming Nemesis plus Reckless Rage, but if we didn't draw the land there, it's really awkward to miss out on casting the Reckless Rage. So I think we made the right play. All right, this is fine. We'll lose a Screaming Nemesis here, but we will get to do either 5 or 6 damage to them from blocking this Otter. They really should not be casting now. We'll just kill this Otter with the Screaming Nemesis. We have another one. We have drawn just only lands now, so we're not in a great position anymore. Maybe we should have been attacking with these Screaming Nemesi. Let me know what you would have done. We are getting outdrawn here. So I have another Swift Spear. It's another Storm Chaser. So we will block this 3/3. I have Monstrous Rage. Yeah, we're pretty dead. See what we hit off light up the stage. Man, Swift Spear and another land. We will take one more draw step. They get back. Boomerang. Yeah, we're pretty dead. There's not a way out of this one. I think we should have been playing more aggressive. That's... Let me know what you would have done. Are we changing any... Maybe the... No, I still think abrading the Quarry on turn 2 was right. Sideboard still looks good. We just need to draw our sideboard cards. And all right, good hand. Oh, this is great hand. I'm not sure how many cards their deck runs that can kill Magebane Lizard. Probably just Academic Dispute into Iroh's Demonstration. Looks like they have a hard decision on whether or not to keep. They start off with a Soulscar Mage. We'll just get this Magebane Lizard down. Let's see, that is probably the best start they could have had against our Magebane Lizard, so they can kill it with 2 burn spells over a few turns. Let's see what they have. So Academic Dispute. That's fine. So they're taking at least 3 damage from the Magebane Lizard this turn. So they do get the Irohs. Do they have second land? They do have second land. And are they playing... Okay. So with Boomerang Basics being played, let's just get this Screaming Nemesis down. We drew this Pyroclasm. This is really good with Screaming Nemesis. And I mean, if they're just all right, we're fine with this, because now, oh sorry, I forgot they had the Soulscar Mage out. So we will Magebane Lizard and Swift Spear. And they're missing land drops. Let's just go aggro. They're in, they're at 11. Anything they cast, this is fine. Yeah, if they're leaving, so we'll just cast this. Cast a Pyroclasm. Their creature dies. Ours all live. Get in for 5. And a lot of their answers. So they have another Soulscar Mage. And they Boomerang Basics the Magebane Lizard. All right. We are drawn very hot. Really simple turn here. Oh. Awkward sequencing. Should have cast the Abrade first. All right, another great hand. Hopefully we are playing into a matchup that these Burst Lightnings are good. Okay, Rakdos midrange. Starting off with a Thoughtseize. Probably take Light Up the Stage or Kumano. So you take a Kumano. We'll play the second one. I was wanting the second one. I like Kumano as a way to trigger Light Up the Stage. So they play a Blood Tithe Harvester. Okay, so we draw an Emeritus. That is perfect. This now dodges the Blood Tithe Harvester specifically. They have a removal spell for it, or they're reading. All right, so they've got Go for the Throat or Fatal Push, something. Go for the Throat. We'll take 3 here. On our turn, we are going to get in with our 2/2 trigger Spectacle with Light Up the Stage and see what we... Do they have Fatal Push? No. Let's see what we get off this Light Up the Stage. All right, just land Swift Spear. We are starting to flood a little bit. We're going to hold our Burst Lightnings. This is looking like it could be a kick the Burst Lightning kind of game. If they want to cash in Blood Tithe Harvester for Swift Spear, it's fine. Oh, that's really bad. Well, how do we beat this? They don't get in with the Blood Tithe Harvester. So we will go to our turn. That's a good pickup. Let's play Soul Scar and go to attacks and see how they block. Okay. So we will Burst Lightning the Graveyard Trespasser, discard Mountain. That will trigger Swift Spear once, put 2 -1/-1 counters, and then we'll Burst Lightning face, and that will save the Swift Spear, and our Etching will live because this will become a 1/1. We're empty-handed. I don't love that. But I think that was the best play we had available to us. So they have a Fable. That's an awkwardly good blocker. They have another... Do they have another land? No. So we're looking for... All right, I mean, that's... Is that our 4th Burst Lightning? No, it's the 3rd. We will just cast our spell we drew and attack. We're really looking for Legend of Roku, because they discard 2 lands. That's interesting that they didn't play a land last turn. We're looking for Legend of Roku here or Screaming Nemesis. So they have a Fear of Missing Out. That's also a good blocker. They discard Thoughtseize. They play Swamp. Wow. All right, we're drawing very well today. Let's cast this on the Fear of Missing Out. And we'll target our Swift Spear. And then we'll attack. They very likely have a removal spell here. They don't. Put them to 2. I have 1 blocker. So they play land. Do they have Shieldred? Another Fable. There's 2 blockers. So we do need to draw something this turn. Screaming Nemesis. That'll do it. Nice. Let's go. That's a hard matchup, and they had a good draw into ours. We just drew runners off the top, which is always nice. We didn't see Shieldred from them, but they are probably running it. And this kills fear of missing out. I don't think we need Pyroclasm. They had a lot of creatures. Oh, this also kills Graveyard Trespasser. As far as cuts, I think this is another matchup where we cut the Emeritus. With how much hand hate they have, it's just going to be hard for us to cast 3 spells in a turn. We need 1 more cut. We can go down 1 crash through because we don't have the Emeritus. Emerituses? I'm not sure. Great hand. A little removal heavy with this second Abrade, and they have a Duress. That's something to keep in mind. When playing Pioneer and you're playing against any of these black-based mid-range decks, as long as your hand has 2 to 3 lands and some somewhat reasonably castable spells, you just have to keep it, because they're likely going to have 2 to 3 hand hate spells in the first 3 turns of the game. So your hand, going into turn 3 and turn 4 will look completely different than what your starting hand was. Okay, and we are drawing only more removal. Was hoping for a creature. The second Scorching Shot is not great. We will use a Burst Lightning on this. So we'll get to discard 2. Let's see what they play here. They know about all of this removal. They go land. Okay, so I'm glad we brought in these Scorching Shots. They knew about 1. Leads me to believe they might have a second Shieldred if they're just running this first one out into the known Scorching Shot. This light up the stage is a good pickup here. Like to see another land. Perfect. Let's go land and run the Soul Scar out. Probably not running any sweepers. We don't need to worry about overextending. The second Shieldred. Oh, Ritual Chamber. That's really good. Okay. So our options here, we have 4 mana. We have the Soul Scar. I am liking Burst Lightning on Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, Scorching Shot onto Demon, Crash Through, attack for 6. I like that. They get to have a 1/1 demon, but if their whole turn is just unlock the Holy Annex, we are pretty fine with that. They'll go to 9. Yeah, so they will unlock the door. Do they have removal spell to go with this play? Okay, they get in for 1. If they have removal spell 2, this gets a little more dicey. They do have removal spell. Okay, so because we don't have a prowess creature anymore, we will attack with the Etching of Kumano first. They have another removal spell. Okay. So now we kill the demon. I should have cast this light up the stage first. Okay, we hit Swift Spear and Screaming Nemesis. Those are great hits. You need a Mutavault to Screaming Nemesis, Swift Spear. We'll leave this mountain in hand to potentially trick them into Thought Seizing. Do they have a non-damage removal for Screaming Nemesis? No. Yes. No. Yes. Wow. They've drawn very well after a slightly clunky start from them. They are on a clock. Okay, we'll play this Den of the Bugbear tapped. Our plan here, we will activate the Ramanap Ruins on their end step. Did they find a demon? No. They have 1 loot for... They need to find a Mutavault. They discard Swamp. Do they find Mutavault? Doesn't look like it. They would have instantly played it. Graveyard Trespasser is really good for them here. So they will go to 6 and then go to 4. We have, I think, 1 Burst Lightning left in the deck. So they go to 4. They go to 2. We have a lot of live draws here. That was... Okay, Screaming Nemesis is it. Nice. Oh, man, I love Screaming Nemesis. And in a format of Monastery Swift Spear and Soulscar Mage, you can definitely feel the 2 mana instead of 1 mana. On turn 2, it's fine, but after, it feels a little awkward. This is one reason I've been excited for this deck, is Kumano into Emeritus to make a 3/3 first striker. We're going to get it Thought Seized, but... Okay, so we will play... They're not going to be playing red-based removal, so let's get our 1/1 counter on Swift Spear. Forgot, does anybody remember what our first matchup was? Okay, we're curving out nicely here. Do they have a board wipe for 3 mana? Just to go for the throat. All right. awkward, awkward start from them. Not sure what's going on. Looks like some kind of blue black mid range or control variant. I played against a deck like this the other day that was playing a lot of cantrips, and Chrome Host Seed Shark, I believe, is the name of the card that makes incubate tokens whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. If it's that deck, we want the Magebane Lizards. I think Magebane Lizard is good against this deck regardless. So let's bring him in. Screaming Nemesis was really good there. It's still probably worth it to have in. As far as cuts, Burst Lightning is not great. Reckless Rage is probably not great in this matchup. We're going a little low on 1-drops. Let's run it like this. Let me know if you would have brought in Scorching Shot. That was, ooh, this hand. 5 lands, no keep. All right, all 1-drops. Turn 1, Mountain, Kumano. Turn 2, Mountain, Swift Spear, Soul Scar. Turn 3, let's put back a Prowess creature. No, let's put back this Crash Through. It's close, so they have another Thoughtseize. Putting back the Crash Through is much better against this Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize bug even in Arena. They did keep on 7. Okay. Watery Grave tapped. Again, we'll do the same thing. They don't run damage-based removal, so we will put the 1/1 counter on Swift Spear to get in the extra damage, and they'll Fatal Push. Okay, just a stock up from them. Really good. We don't have a huge damage turn. Okay, so with Emeritus, we are just going to get this down and plan to try to prepare him next turn. They're likely playing a lot of Disruption. Okay. So we keep the Emeritus. We go Swift Spear, attack for 3. That's 1. If we hit any 1-drop, we get to prepare our Emeritus. We do not hit a 1-drop. We do have a Magebane Lizard next turn. It's bad into specifically another Extinction event. Second Emeritus is looking very clunky. Okay, we do draw lands. We have a pretty easy just play our 2/2 drops. Enters with 4 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter. If it has no oil counters, you lose the game. Whenever a creature its controller loses. Okay. So they're playing this and the oh my gosh, I always forget the name of that card. All right. We'll go to game 3. They are playing a ton of sweepers. This does not kill that demon. This doesn't kill the demon. Let's go down the Reckless Rages, bring in the Burst Lightnings, and just try to go as fast as possible. There's an argument that we could be running. This hand just. Oh, well. Classic 5 lands into 1. No lands. Opponent is tanking a while on their keep. They keep 7. We will go to 5. We will keep 5. And we will hope that they have no removal spells and that this Magebane Lizard carries us. Let's try to bait out a Fatal Push from them. It's very likely they have Fatal Push. Okay. Oh, man, that's brutal. Well, I'm not sure. If they have removal spell for the Magebane Lizard, we'll go ahead and pack it in. Just a stock up. Again, not great for us, but getting a removal spell for this Deep Cavern Bat. Nope. Best we can do is another mountain. What could they be thinking on? They just have a lot of duresses and thought seizes. Could have potentially left the mountain in our hand to bait them into casting Thoughtseize. I wanted, yeah, that was probably the right play. When I played the mountain, I was thinking I want to be able to immediately animate a Den of the Bugbear, but it comes into tapped right now anyway, so they have the Archfiend. Now is the turn for... Okay, now I'm glad we played the land. That was exactly what we needed. Let's cast the Kumano. No attacks into this 6/6. I'm not sure how we beat this card. Oh. Huh. Good game. Never seen this combo deck before. That's kind of cool. All right, on the play with a terrible hand. This hand is also terrible, but it's better than the average 5, I think. This is another Rakdos matchup again. I have been seeing a lot more Rakdos lately. I'm not sure what changed to make it so many people are playing Rakdos now, but oh. We're about to get slashed. They play Unholy Annex. All right, we'll go ahead and pack it in. Mulligan to 6 with a 5-lander. Let's bring in the Abrades, bring in the Scorching Shots. And so awkward. Another matchup where the Emeritus is just not good. I think we are reaching bursts. We can go down 1 burst lightning. I don't think it kills anything in their deck. You know, unfortunately, we're on the 4th match with this deck, and we've cut Emeritus in 3 of the matchups. All right, this is a much better hand. Hopefully they have something to hit with the Reckless Rage. We will leave this Abrade up. It's close. Okay. Let's exile this Saga. They definitely have a removal spell here, but we don't have another choice but to jam. They're going to go for the throat or... No. What could their hand be? Please play Fable? Fable. Wow. Okay. This is great news for us. We get to kill that, do 2 damage to them. We'll cycle these. All right. What could... They need something pretty good here. I'm not sure what... The -2/-2 sweeper doesn't do it. They discard 2 lands. They have Shieldred. They have Unstoppable Slasher, and then they concede. All right, 2 very one-sided games. Does seeing the Fable change anything? I don't believe so. Let's just hit submit. Let's get another hand like our game 2 hand. This is... Okay, they are... Love the tap lands. We'll play Kumano to get the 1/1 counter on our Swift Spear. If it doesn't get Thoughtseized. Deep Cavern Bat. That is a reason to leave in the... Alright, that's... We are getting Deep Cavern Batted. Oh my gosh. What a brutal way for this one to end. Alright. Well, we draw the Scorching Shot. I think our turn here is... If they haven't seen that, that doesn't matter. Let's kill the Slasher. get in for 2, light up the stage, and hopefully see. All right, those are 2 good hits. Oh, that's right. The slasher goes away because of the etchings of Kumano. Don't forget that text would have been missed in paper. And then they'll activate the Mutavault here. Oh my god. Well, we will play our creatures and attack. Them gaining 2 life a turn is not great for us. Do they have... Shieldred here is pretty unbeatable. Alright, if their turn is just attack with the bat and unlock the door... Okay. Good game. Demoted back down to Diamond 4. Sure, we'll keep 1 land on a mulligan to 6. We are against blue-white control. Blue-black? I have a feeling like we're going to be playing a bunch of 1-mana creatures into 1-mana removal spells and not getting very far this game. But we will see. What's their turn 3 play? Nothing. We're going to try and cast this light up the stage. We'll see if Etchings lives. I don't have faith that this will resolve. It does, and we do find land number 2. Next turn we'll play this Swift Spear and Burst Lightning them. Notably, they don't have double black for Shieldred here. They're reading Soulscar Mage. Alright, we will go Swift Spear. Swift Spear? Sure. We're playing pretty heavily into a sweeper here, which they probably don't have if they're casting a Nowhere to run. I'm going to assume this is the blue-black self-bounce deck. If they have the creature that lets them return a permanent, that'll be really good here. So they're paying to Thunderclap Trainer. What do they find? Nothing. They whiff on the Thunderclap Trainer. And then they pass. Three mana. I don't believe this deck plays any sweepers. Let's play one Soulscar Mage. Attack. If they block here, we will Burst Lightning them. Do they have... they have this town ain't big enough to return Thunder. Okay, another Nowhere to run. So they kill Swift Spear. This is good though. Getting these Nowhere to runs out of their hand means the chances that they can use one on the Screaming Nemesis is lower. Next turns, they play another. All right, just card draw is fine. And they concede. Okay. All right, against blue black self bounce. Magebane Lizard seems good. Sorry, I need to look up the 2-mana creature that returns. I don't remember how big it is. Where is that deck? So I'm looking up. It's a 2-mana enchantment creature. When you cast it, Fear of Isolation. It is a 2/3. As an additional cost to cast the spell, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. It's a 2/3. That is not worth bringing in a Braid or Scorching Shot. Didn't see any Shieldrids from them. Looks like the current deck list for it is not running any, so we will not bring in Scorching Shot unless we see them in game 2. Cuts. We brought in Magebane Lizard. And go down a Burst Lightning, a Crash Through into Emeritus. This is another cool deck. I wonder if the blue Emeritus could be good here. Play it, cast Ancestral Recall, bounce it to hand. It's a little expensive for what the rest of the deck is doing, though. I have turn 1 Thoughtseize here. Oh, Storm Chaser's Talent. Awesome. We get a turn 2 2/5 Magebane Lizard. That dodges a lot of their removal. No Thoughtseize. No Thoughtseize. Thunder Trap Trainer. Okay, no Thoughtseize. They get a Cryogen Relic. That is fine. They can cast as many Cyclers as they want into my Magebane Lizard. Here we go. Do they have removal spell for Magebane? They need one this turn. You can fall really far behind this lizard if you don't kill it the turn it comes down. Nothing, no land. Okay. So we will go land Emeritus, and we will leave up Reckless Rage. There's, even if they have 2 spells, this is a 3/3. And we have the Reckless Rage, so. They have the Fatal Push. Okay. Not anything, like, they just had the removal spell. And then they will trade Otter for Etching. That's fine. We're almost certainly not casting this Reckless Rage. We're hoping for any spell next turn to be able to prepare this Emeritus. The only thing that doesn't do it is Legend of Roku or Light Up the Stage. but either of those are probably fine into. Well, they whiff on lands and concede. This is a good hand if they're a grindy. Okay, Yorion. Yeah, this is a. Should have checked that first. This is a great hand into Yorion. This is blue. All right, yeah, blue. Ooh. Does blue-white control usually play this? Just go double Soul Scar. They get a defender. If they have... Sorry, what is this? Enters... Okay. Well, we need lands, so we'll attack for 2. And just plan to light up the stage. That is a bummer. No lands. This game got a lot harder. Caretaker's Talent. Okay. They're going to have... Oh, I see. Okay, we do find land eventually. I guess we're just firing off these reckless rages. We're probably not finding any other good targets for them. You know, we're hoping to draw land into Legend of Roku. We gotta get in the damage when we can. They were tapped out. Okay. Ooh, that's... I'm not sure how we beat this deck. This, ooh, yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do we draw land? We do, but I don't see a way. So they create 2 more soldiers. We just don't have any main deck answers to this. Oh yeah, all right. Really good curve from our opponent there. And we had a super awkward draw against what they're doing. Lizards in, Burst Lightning's out. Let's bring Pyroclasm in. Trim the Reckless Rages. Our curve's a little high. Sideboarding like this. But the cards we cut just do actually nothing in this matchup, so I'm fine with raising the curve a little bit. Well, we need to draw a second land. Okay. Oh boy. Well, this player was tired of losing to mono red. Oh. We don't draw land number 3. Okay. So we will go Kumano Kumano. Man, if we would have drawn a land this turn, we would have had Lightning Bolt prepared. What's their turn 3 play? Wedding announcement? Okay. We have a 3/6 Magebane Lizard. That's kind of cool. Say block Emeritus, block Etching, chump with the token. Magebane Lizard's going to have to do a lot of work. What is this? Non-creature, non-land. Oh, so it's like collected company for... Get the... Buy Magebane Lizard. Well, if we can survive... we just cannot draw. If we would have drawn third land at any point this game, we could have played Screaming Nemesis and then Pyroclasmed. And stopped them from gaining life, but on 2 lands the whole time, probably not winning this one. There's an Enduring Innocence. They get another 0/4. Draw 2. All right. Well, we will Pyroclasm. They double chump, go to 17, but we'll concede to basically anything here. Maybe not that. What is this hit? Just a carrot cake and a removal spell. They draw 2. Yeah, there's... Portable Hole for Soulscar Mage. Yeah. All right, good game. If we would have drawn third land on that turn before, it would have been good. All right. We're going to pivot off of mono red. It was fun trying the Emeritus of Conflict out, but without any free spells in the format, it just feels a little bit slow. Still a fun list. I think if you are a mono red gamer, this is a good place to start. Could go a little bit more in on the Emeritus. I might give it a little bit more thought, but for the time being, I think that this is the mono red list I've been having the most success with. Just more standard Monstrous Rage, Emberheart Challenger. The biggest difference is I'm running Roku instead of the cat. In a lot of my testing, that felt right. And what is this version? This is Cutter and Emeritus together. Instead of Screaming Nemesis. I think Screaming Nemesis is too good. That was one thing that today reminded me is Screaming Nemesis is worth it to play. I think if I was going